Hey, everybody, welcome back to the A to Jump podcast. This is episode 16. As always, I'm your host, Gooba, or Jacob, whichever you prefer, from the YouTube channel Gooba and Jetpack. And I'm joined by my good buddy and friend and pal and co-host, Justin of Justin Games. How we doing, Justin?
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Ready to talk about Geoff Keighley some more.
Oh, we love Geoff. What do you think is going to happen this year? What's going to be the scandal from the Game Awards?
Geoff's own health. I hope nothing. Because that poor man cannot catch a break.
He works so hard. He just is a guy who truly loves video games and wants to share it with everybody. And every event he puts on, there's something that goes wrong.
He's 2 for 2, right? In the last two?
Yeah.
Because last year we had Bill Clinton.
Yep, the infamous Bill
at the
Clinton.
Game Awards. And then at Key 3, it was the guy who wanted a GTA 6 trailer or something like that.
Yeah,
Was that what it was?
Yeah, that one was sad. Because it was like, I think they said something about Bill Clinton. Like they ran up on stage and they said like Bill Clinton wants a GTA 6 trailer or something, and you could tell Geoff just like had enough.
He was so mad.
He was
so mad.
Like I think he kind of played off the Game Awards one in a a lighthearted way, but that one he was just like, wow, just how disappointing. And
yeah,
I felt bad for him.
I did too, because you're right. He just wants people to love video games as much as he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes up on stage and it sucks that people do that to him.
Yeah.
But hopefully nothing bad happens. Hopefully they've ramped up security and they just don't let people on stage. Like, how hard is that to not let someone on stage?
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand.
That is a supreme lack of security for that to happen twice at two different events that people just went up on stage.
And like, I don't know how much you want to get into it, but like, you work concerts, right?
Yeah. So
how many fans have you seen run up on stage?
I mean, normally not many. If there's, most of the time security has it down enough to not let people that close to the stage. Like once you get, most of the time in order to even get in like the back areas, you have to show like you have to scan like a wristband or a badge or something like that.
Right.
And there's no such thing as like no barricade at the front of the stage. Like there's always going to be like a full like metal barricade with at least like 5 feet between that and the actual front of the stage, and there's usually security just lined all through that. So like but I guess that's the thing with an award show though, is like they kind of have to have the front of the stage be sort of open, or that because they have to have the steps where people can come up and give their acceptance speeches. But still, that is so crazy to let that happen more than once. And I don't think, I'm not putting any blame on Geoff here, but someone within the production is dropping the ball.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how many celebrity, like acting and the Grammys, you never see people run on stage on those.
Yeah.
Other than like Kanye West or like Will Smith. But,
it's people.
That's a little different.
Yeah. For those, like, it's people who were invited, who were like part of the, they're celebrities. So it's not like that crazy to see them go up on stage if they're not planned to, but
It's crazier what they actually do when they're on stage.
Mhm.
Not that they're going on the stage.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we'll get back to the Game Awards in a little bit.
yep.
But first, I think it's been a while, so we wanted to catch up a little bit, talk about what we've been playing. There is supposed to be a trailer for GTA 6 this week, so we'll probably touch on that. And then we also got a confirmed remaster for The Last of Us Part 2, which I have a lot of thoughts on, so we will definitely come back to that.
Thank Odin that we get a Last of Us Part 2 remake.
Oh man, yeah. We'll come back to that.
People have been begging for it. And people have been knocking down doors.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
It's crazy out there. But anyway, so I think it's been a few months now since we recorded last. So
yeah, probably.
Yeah. In that time, a lot of games have come out. A few pretty big ones, at least for me, and probably for you too.
Yeah.
I also, you can't see it, but the people can. We are in a new studio space, if you will. We moved, so just now getting settled, haven't set up all of the stuff behind me, but if you see the empty shelf, that's why. I know you can't see it, but the people can.
I can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, you'll
Just
see.
Waiting for merch.
Yeah. Oh, and unbeknownst to, or not planned, but we both happen to be wearing the same shirt today, apparently.
Apparently. We both could be lying. Because we can't see each other.
I mean, I did see you had your camera on when I joined the call, but I don't remember seeing what you were wearing. But
yeah, I think you could only see like just that I was wearing a white shirt.
Yeah.
But it is indeed Roxy's Detective Agency.
Yep.
So how cute are we?
Mm-hmm. Our first episode back in a while, and we decided to match.
We synced.
But anyway, what you been playing?
Me, nothing new. Haven't been able to really. There's just been so many new stuff, and with Christmas coming up, and my daughter's birthday is right by Christmas, so wasn't able to really dive into all the new stuff. But I have been trying to get into the backlog a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I dove pretty hard into Persona 5 Royal specifically, and it's good, I guess.
Good.
So if you don't know much about Persona, it is very much a JRPG, very stylized, very anime inspired. I wouldn't even say inspired. It's very much anime. But you take the role as a high school student who has to balance being a high school student while, trying to get good grades, trying to keep up socially with your friends, and also basically be like a superhero, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I've probably put in quite a bit of time, maybe 15-20 hours, which is only like a fifth of that game, but I'm into the second palace.
Okay.
And boy, is it a lot of combat. There is just as much combat as you could possibly want. And the combat system is good, but I would say it's kind of simple.
Okay.
And dare I say, boring. Like that might be kind of blasphemous to some people.
We'll get some comments on that.
We might, but I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Maybe it gets more complex the further you get, but again, I'm like 15-20 hours in, and you get they're not random encounters. I mean, you could run past enemies if you wanted, but you're not going to level up at all.
Yeah.
So I try to take every combat encounter I get, and you get kind of random enemies. The enemies are pretty cool. They're pretty typical of what you'd see from like a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird floating pumpkins that breathe fire and stuff like that.
It sounds very
Which is
JRPG.
yeah. So they're cool, but every enemy has a weak element, and all of your attacks are elemental.
Okay.
So the puzzle is figuring out which element they're weak to, and just spamming that type of element.
Okay.
And yeah, so not the most creative battle system I've seen. It's fine, but like I said, there's just so many battles that eventually, after you've fought an enemy once or twice, you've figured out its weak point, and the main character, the person you play as, has the ability to switch between like 6 or 8 personas. So no matter what, you always have the attack that the opponent is weak to.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's weak to ice, you can just switch through your personas to find one that has ice and then use it.
Okay.
And you just do that over and over and over. But your other 3 people, you got to find a way to make them do damage, because maybe they don't have ice. They can't switch personas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a bit of a balance, but I don't know. It's got a little repetitive, got a little boring. My favorite part of the game is like the social aspects.
Mm-hmm.
It's walking around the town. You can go to the movies to raise your kindness. You can read a book to raise your something like your guts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a burger challenge where you have to try to eat a really big burger, and that'll raise your guts trait,
Mm-hmm.
whatever word you want to use. That's my favorite part. Like, I don't like the palace. I do like the palaces, but like I found myself just trying to get through the palace stuff to get back to hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
And being able to go to the batting cages. Like, there's this little batting cage mini game. There's all kinds of cool stuff. The music is really good, but you're gonna hear that battle theme over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So I want to keep going. I think I needed a bit of a break.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, that's been my experience with Persona 5. And I know a lot of people love this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the few games that GameSpot gave a 10. And it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good. I just don't know how people sit down for like a month straight and play it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do that. That's for sure.
Because it's like a stupidly long game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's minimum 100 hours to beat everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only unlocked like one new character.
Really?
Otherwise it's been like you're the main character, and then you've got 3 other ones, and then I just got the first new character you get,
Mm-hmm.
who I can't remember their name, which is cool, but I was hoping to get a few more by now.
Yeah. It sounds like there's definitely, I mean, people have to enjoy it. It's one of the most
Yeah.
like hyped games ever. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it definitely sounds like a very slow burn. And if you're not into the combat, you might not be I can't talk. Might not be interested in something that repetitive.
Yeah. And like I said, maybe it gets a little more complex, because there's like a little collection type thing. Like, the enemies once you get them, once you attack all the enemies' weak points, like there's 3 enemies, and you're able to attack each enemy with their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all fall down, like they'll be downed. Even if they're not dead, you can do an all-out attack on them, which, all 4 of your teammates will attack them and like wipe them all out at once.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can choose to like convince them to join your team, and they can be a persona for you. So there's all like a kind of Pokemon-ish collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can take all those persona and then fuse them and get new personas. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's it's a JRPG. It's very, very JRPG-y.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to keep going, because I know they got their new game coming out that I can't remember the name of. We've talked about it on here before.
Mm-hmm.
That it's more fantasy focused.
Okay.
Which sounds a lot of fun. But so I would like to be able to say I've beaten Persona 5 Royal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a gamer goal of mine.
What's the difference between Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal? Is it just like a different edition to it, or?
Yeah, it's like expansion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. New character, new palace, new just more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably minimum like 115 hours. It just makes it longer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you stick to that one. I don't have the attention span for stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I might be finding out that I don't either. Shit. Okay, what about you? You've been playing some new stuff. I want to hear about your new stuff.
Yeah. So, very briefly, I'll touch on Jetpack and I started playing Baldur's Gate a little bit, not a lot.
Very, very good.
Yeah,
How far did you get?
We, I don't know how to,
Are you off the ship?
we have made it off the ship. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the beach at least.
Yeah, we made it to the, we've picked up a few companion characters, and we've made it to one of the first, I think it's the base where all of like the druids live. I can't remember where exactly.
Yeah.
But they,
Okay.
where we have to fight off like a horde of goblins, and then they're like closing off their city or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've made it to that, which I don't know. I imagine that's not very far at all into the story, but
No, that's pretty early on.
yeah, but it's good. It's just very overwhelming trying to, that's a game with a lot of systems.
Yes.
That you have to kind of try and remember how things work, and especially because we started it and then I think I went on a work trip for a while, so we didn't play it for like a week or two. We picked it up again. It's like, okay, how do we do this again? Like,
Right.
And then we moved, so now we haven't played it again since then. So,
What kind of character are you?
I'm a wood elf, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic is a little
No, you're good.
up here. There we go.
Um,
Like what class? Like, are you barbarian or archer or a ranger? I think they're called
Ranger. I think I am.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't remember my guy's name. It was one. We both did like one of the name generators online, or like looked up kind of example names. We didn't do just our own like Gooba and Jetpack or whatever. We like picked names that we thought were cool for our characters.
Gooba the Ranger. Ranger Goobs.
I thought about doing that, but I was like, no, I kind of want to do something cool. Although I don't remember what it is right now.
Gotta be cool.
But yeah, so played that a little bit. And then for a little while there. I haven't played it much in the last few weeks, but I got pretty into Assassin's Creed Mirage.
This is the one I'm most interested to hear about.
Yeah. So, as we've talked about countless times on this podcast, Assassin's Creed has kind of gone downhill the last uh few installments, at least for us, because they went full RPG, and just made the maps huge with a ton of like side quests, and made it made the combat a lot more like RPG styled, and really dialed back on the stealth and the story aspect, which I think was our favorite part. Um, I am happy to say that Mirage does go back to a lot of the stuff that we enjoyed about the
Good.
original Assassin's Creed. Um, the it's way more focused on stealth, like to the point where it's kind of like you can get through combat situations without like if you do have to fight your way out, you can, but it is way tougher. Like
Okay, that's pretty cool.
your actual like combat skills are very limited. It's a lot more focused on obviously Hidden Blade, which is a one-shot kill again, thank God, because that was so frustrating to in the last few games to like go up and stab somebody and then that only take like half of their health bar. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you just got stabbed in the neck. You're dead. Like
You are dead. Your spine is separated.
so there's been they brought that back, which is great. Um it's a lot more focused on using uh your tools like your throwing knife and your smoke bombs and all that stuff. That's been made a lot more important. Um, the the only thing that, well, there's a few things that I would like an improvement on. The parkour is not great. They kind of just took the parkour mechanics from the they took the parkour mechanics from like the last few games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quite as fluid as I would like. I wish so badly that they would have gone back to the Unity style parkour, because
Okay.
I thought that was great. Like it was designed to be very fast and very fluid, and like
Mm-hmm.
this one it feels clunky a little bit. Like it's not the worst thing in the world, and we're in a city again, so you have a lot of things at your disposal and you can still climb pretty much anything. But it's not as fast as I would like. It just feels a little bit clunky. Um, the other thing that I definitely could just do without is the story aspects are really weak. The
Oof.
voice acting is abysmal, and a lot,
Really?
yeah, it's not very good. And
Did you switch it to Arabic at all?
no,
Oh, that would have been cool.
that's actually a good idea. Maybe that would.
It's fully voiced in Arabic too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might change some things. Then I might have to try that. Um,
Yeah, I would try that.
yeah, because the American, or the English dub, it's not really a dub. I think it was probably originally recorded in English, but it's just
Oh,
not
for sure.
really doing it for me.
That sucks.
I don't really care that much about any of the characters. Um, and the actual facial animations are bad. They're like Bethesda bad, in my opinion.
I was just gonna say, are we comparing that to Naughty Dog level of facial capture?
I mean, no one, that's a almost unreachable level.
I would
Like
agree.
very very few studios can get to that point, although Ubisoft should be able to.
Right.
I would put it like maybe a step up or two above Starfield, which is bad.
That's that. Yeah.
But uh
Yeesh.
strictly looking at the gameplay, I am enjoying it. Like I said, I haven't played it in a while, pretty much since Spider-Man came out, which I'll get into. Um, but for a while there, I was really enjoying it, and it's only like 15 hours long, I think. So it's not nearly as much to bite off as like the last few games have been. So
Right. And it's only like $40, isn't it?
yeah, so it's not a full priced game. Um, and it actually, I think it has quite a bit in it for $40, or maybe it was
Yeah.
50. I don't remember, but it's not full
Yeah, I
price.
can't remember either. It's not 60 or 70.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But it's got quite a bit of side content in there, and then the actual, uh, story aspect of it, or not like the actual main campaign, is kind of a choose your own adventure is not the right word, but like you have kind of you have to find out information on these this specific group of people, and they're like your targets, and um you can sort of go in whatever order you want, which makes the story pretty disjointed, but it also is cool to be able to like follow up on different leads and not have to just go after one person, kill them, and then go to the next. Like you can kind of pick how you want to go about things, which is cool.
Yeah, that is. My biggest question was like the last kind of non-RPG ish Assassin's Creed we got was Syndicate,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think you didn't play that one, right?
I did.
Oh, okay, you did.
Yeah.
So they kind of had that where your target is in this giant building at this party,
Mm-hmm.
and the game starts you out perched on the building across the street,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, go figure out how to kill this guy. And you just gotta like kind of walk around, blend in, try to figure out the best way to do it. Is there anything like that in this game?
Kind of.
Okay.
It definitely, it's similar to that, where at least for more of the higher up targets, they'll be like inside this compound, or in one of them, they're inside a prison, and you have to figure out how you're going to get in there. It's not so much that I think you probably could do it however you wanted. But they have, you know, right at the beginning, and you're perched across the street or whatever, they kind of point out a couple of the options that you have. So like, let's say you can go over here and you can bribe this delivery guy to like let you go in with him. He's like delivering supplies or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can hire mercenaries to cause a distraction, and then you slip in the side or something. Like it kind of points out a few things that you can do. But that's pretty much just to get you inside, and then from
Yeah,
there you're kind of on your own,
that's
which is
great.
cool.
Because Syndicate was a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can remember paying a guy to, I think, like light off fireworks
Mm-hmm.
in a certain amount of time, and then your target would walk to the window and be watching the fireworks, and that's when you'd sneak up behind him and stab him.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got some of those aspects. It's not perfect. There are definitely some things that I would prefer that were in some of the older games, but still enjoying it much more than I have any of the last three, which
That's awesome.
is good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Um, and then other than that, pretty much what I've been putting all my time into when I'm able to, as I've been playing so much Spider-Man 2.
Good. Awesome.
And I love it, man. It's I've talked about it before. The Spider-Man 2018 is one of my favorite games of all time. Miles Morales was great too. Like, just the way that you traverse that world is so satisfying in itself.
Mm-hmm.
The combat can get a little bit repetitive, but I feel like they give you enough tools and enough different types of enemies that it's not just a mash square most of the time. Like, you actually have to dodge and parry and kind of figure out your way to get around things. But yeah, being able to play as either Peter or Miles has been a lot of fun. It's not, you can't switch like whenever you want.
Okay.
For story purposes, sometimes, like if you get through a pretty big story mission, um, like say you get through a pretty big story beat for Peter, it might like give him a little bit of a break, I guess you could say. Or it'll be like Peter and Miles will be together at the end of that mission or whatever, and Peter will say, I gotta go figure some stuff out, and then you'll play as Miles for a little bit, and you can sometimes, most of the time, you have the option whenever you want to just switch over to the other one. But if it's in a situation like that, it'll say like you can't switch to Peter right now, and you just have to go do some missions as Miles.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is fine because they both have missions that are exclusive to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miles, for example, has missions for Prowler that only he can do because Prowler is his Uncle Aaron.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think that they've really upped the combat in this one. Not only with their new abilities, which the symbiote abilities are crazy. Um, and like that was definitely one of the most fun parts of this game. But also the enemy types too. Like there's been like, I don't recall that many big boss fights in the other games. I think I've done at least like 10 major boss fights so far in this game.
Nice.
Like multiple stage, like 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 stage fights, which is crazy. Um, and it's been challenging. Like it's definitely taken me several tries on a few of them. Um, just last night, for example, or maybe it was the night before, I was, uh, I just set up my PlayStation at my desk upstairs here. Um, and I just turned on Spider-Man just to make sure, like, I said like, oh, I'm just gonna play for a few minutes just to make sure that everything's like running good and all that. And I ended up
Famous
getting
last
in,
words.
yeah, ended up getting into a 4 stage boss battle
Oof.
that took me like probably 30 to 45 minutes to fully get through because I died a few times. And um but it's been fun though. It's actually made the combat not feel as tedious as I think it could sometimes in the previous
Okay.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
um and also the story has been really good so far, with Peter dealing with uh the symbiote and some stuff on his side, and then Miles like uh is still kind of dealing with the loss of his dad, um which I guess
Rip.
spoilers for the first game.
Yeah.
But
Rip,
yeah,
Geoff.
but no, it's been really good. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's uh I already talked about the traversal, obviously, but it's one of the few games where I will unlock the ability to fast travel, but I don't really use it.
Yeah,
Like,
why would you?
yeah, it's just so much fun to swing around the city, and especially the web wings, the like glider wings that you
Yeah,
have now.
I was gonna ask. I thought you had like some wings now.
Yeah, those are awesome. And you can actually, all over the city, there's these uh like slipstream things where like if you get out the glider, you glide into this particular like air current, and it'll just shoot you down this path at like 100 miles an hour. And those are everywhere, so you can get all over the city in like a matter of minutes, which,
That's really cool.
yeah, that's been really fun. I definitely think if you liked the first game even a little bit, I think you'd really enjoy this one. Um, and that is a message for you and also for everybody else. I think that
Yeah.
that's a game that, uh, if you like Spider-Man, you'll like this game.
Sorry. So I do love Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, but the 2018 Spider-Man just didn't click with me, and I think it was the combat
Mhm.
just got a little too repetitive for me. But it sounds like they really improved on it in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like I'll I'll make sure to be transparent about it. Like there is still some uh repetitiveness to the combat. At least when you're fighting, like when you're just going around the city, um like stopping crime and stuff like that, or doing some of the little side stuff. Like that's still a lot of the same, but they added so many more interesting enemies in this one. Like
Mm-hmm.
even just in the regular groups of enemies, like you've got the archers, and there's like brutes now that have shields, and like um people that you can't just like punch 4 times and they're knocked out. Like you actually have to really think about where you're going to use your gadgets and your finishing moves when you have them. And like there's certain attacks that you have to parry, like you can't dodge them. There's certain
Okay.
attacks that you can't do anything, you have to dodge, and if you don't, then it's like basically takes like half your health. um and yeah, it's been really good. I think that they've taken what was already a really good system and just made it better.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Sony is very good at that.
Yeah.
That's what it's Sony's studios. It's
Mhm.
not them specifically, but yeah, I mean, you've seen it in like almost all their sequels. They turned an already extremely good game and made it even better,
Yeah.
which is good for them. That's really good. I'm glad you like it. Have you beaten it or no?
No, I
No.
think I'm getting close to beating the story. My save file says I'm around like 50%, but I also haven't done a ton of the side stuff. Um,
Yeah, those like the little thing on your PS5, right?
well, like,
Like it gives a little percentage.
even
Or what do you
in the
mean?
game, like when you
Oh,
boot up the
okay,
game
okay.
and you hit continue and it shows all of your save files. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the one that I'm on, I think it says maybe like 48% complete,
Okay.
but I don't think that's including, or I think that also includes all of the like side missions and stuff, which I haven't done a ton of.
Right. Probably.
But I
Probably.
think I'm pretty, at least just from what's happening in the story, I feel like I'm pretty close to the end. But yeah, definitely
So
enjoying it. Looking forward to playing it more.
yeah, awesome. yeah, like you said, if you like Spider-Man, you'll probably like it.
Mhm.
Probably like this game, unless you're like me and you just kind of a grump about about everything.
Yeah, grumpy Gus
Except
over here.
Horizon. Except Horizon. That's really good.
Yeah.
Play Horizon.
I did.
Speaking of grumpy, oh sorry, what?
I was just gonna say I did actually boot up Horizon Forbidden West um not too long ago. I think it's been since the last time we recorded. Played for a few hours and
Nice.
it was good. It's forever one of those games that I know I need to go back to. There's just too much directly in front of me that I'm trying to get through as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, Horizon's definitely gotta be one of my Horizon is to me what Spider-Man is to you. I
Okay.
think like Horizon's definitely one of my favorite games, including the first one. I mean, but this is kind of where Horizon doesn't really click for you. You know, Spider-Man doesn't really click for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's funny.
That's fair. Yeah.
Speaking of grumpy Gus over here, Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I'm a little sour on it still. I have tried so hard to push through and keep going on that game. I gave a little mini review several episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts are pretty much still the same. Side quests suck. The story is good. It's fine, but man, it just goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you fight epic boss after epic boss after epic boss.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps on going. There's another epic boss waiting for you. I was like, I thought I was finally at the final boss. I'm like, I just need to sit down and plow through it, and it was really hard. And I finally did it. I died a bunch. Not the final boss, Jake. There's more.
Yep.
They're like, oh, okay, well, now you're ready to storm the castle or something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
great. This game never ends. And I just haven't been able to get into it since. I would still like to finish it just because Final Fantasy is one of my favorite series. I've beaten most of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. I've beaten some of them. And I would like to be able to say I beat Final Fantasy 16, but I just haven't been able to yet.
Yeah. I feel like it's, I've obviously, heard your thoughts on it, but I think even just in general, it's the reception that it got was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like,
Yep.
there's not
it is
anyone
a video game.
super like raving about it the way that you'd think they would for a series as big as this.
Yeah. I mean, they swung hard to make some big changes. And the changes, they were big. They
Mm-hmm.
made big changes. And, I mean, they didn't really hit a grand slam. They hit like a really far double.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I don't know why I was also thinking double when you said that.
Yeah, just off the bat, everyone thought it was gone, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a 2 bouncer to the wall, and he just hauled in a second.
Yeah.
But besides that, we talked about Horizon a little bit. I dove in and just like I can't be very far away from getting the platinum on this game, so I just kind of took a look, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I kind of started chipping away, and it's definitely not a hard platinum to get. I haven't gotten it yet. But I don't know, when you played it, Jake, did you ever play the mini game in there called Machine Strike? It was the board game.
I think I did like the tutorial on it. I don't think I ever went back and played another one.
That's exactly what I did too the first time I played. And one of the trophies is you have to beat 2 people. which thank God that's all it was.
Yeah.
Um, it's a good or like it's a good, well designed mini game.
Mm-hmm.
Too complicated, way too complicated.
Yeah.
You've got pieces that can move a certain distance, can attack at a certain distance. Things happen when they attack. You can only stand on certain terrain with certain. Wow, too complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason like Gwent is so good in Witcher 3.
I was
Super simple card game.
I was just gonna
Just
say, I feel like since Witcher 3 came out, um, I feel like a lot of RPGs have tried to implement their own Gwent style game, but
mhm.
it's really hard to match that level of like success with that. Like Gwent is a game that people I think would get on Witcher 3 just to play that.
Oh, 100% I did.
And
I would do that for sure. And I'm trying to think of another game with a mini game that even comes close, and I kind of can't.
yeah, like and for that to be just, you know, a very small part of a very large game that people
Yeah.
still are so uh so invested in. I think it's there might be some games that can replicate that to varying success, but I don't think anyone's going to create the next Gwent. I think they did it the best that you can.
Yeah. And me having played The Witcher 3 like 4 times
Mm-hmm.
all the way through, like the card game is simple. Like once you get enough cards and you get the right cards and you kind of know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never lose. Like you'll just mop the floor with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what makes it fun, I think, is getting up to that point and then just wiping the floor with
Yeah.
everybody. But with like Machine Strike, I was like, wow, I'm glad it's only 2 people because it would have taken forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just like you do the tutorial and I feel like they were just like forgetting to put stuff in there because the next time I played, rules were a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And like my opponent was able to attack with the same piece 4 times. I'm like, well, how were they able to do that? And like it doesn't slow down and explain anything to you while it's happening. So I was kind of lost. I got really lucky beating the 2 people that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was that one. All the hunting trials. You remember those?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Where they give you like kind of specific situations, like take down a bellowback using ice, frost it and then destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I'm working on now, and they're kind of difficult because they make you use all the types of weapons, and I don't really use all the types of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly just stick to my bows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of the point. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been doing that. That's about all I've been up to.
Yeah.
Video game wise.
On the quick cutaway here, on the topic of platinums, so right before Spider-Man 2 came out, I was kind of itching to play a Spider-Man game. And I obviously had Spider-Man on PS4, and then I got Miles Morales when I got a PS5. And
Mm-hmm.
with Miles Morales, you get Spider-Man 2018 remastered. Like it came with it. So
Right, I remember.
and on Spider-Man PS4, I had 100%ed the like everything in the base game, but I had not platinumed it yet. I think I was like 6 trophies away. So in the weeks leading up to Spider-Man 2, I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I boot up Spider-Man? And I'll platinum it. I'll get those last few trophies. And I was so disappointed to find out that your save from PS4 Spider-Man does not transfer over to the Spider-Man remastered, at least not
Right.
automatically. Um,
Yeah, not easily.
yeah, and because I owned it physically on PS4, I can't just download the PS4 version onto my PS5 to upload my save. Like I'd have to get another physical copy of Spider-Man uh, just to upload my save to use it on the remaster. Um,
What a mess.
yeah, so that was disappointing. That might have actually been the day that I picked up Horizon for a little bit because I was just looking to play something.
You're right.
Um, but yeah, that was disappointing because I feel like there's certain times with gaming where like there's one thing that you'd really love to do that would just
Yep.
like scratch that itch, and
And you just can't.
that was it for me that day, and I couldn't do it. I was
That's
so
that's
upset.
very disappointing. I think you even texted me. You're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you have Spider-Man? Can you download it
Yeah.
and upload my file?" I'm like, I don't think I can,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I was getting it was getting bad that day. I was kind of desperate.
Yeah.
Um but I understand, like that's a weird uh request, and I didn't really expect anything out of it. It was just like,
Yeah. I
man, that'd
can't
be cool.
remember like where our hiccup was.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I can't
it
remember.
is what it is.
Because I mean I would have absolutely done it for you. I would have helped you.
Yeah.
But I think even I was confused. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Does that help you? And you're like, no.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
I don't know, man.
okay.
I want to play my game.
I just want to play Spider-Man.
I want all my suits back.
Yeah. No one wants to start completely over. Not
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, yeah, that's is there anything else you've been playing that you want to touch on?
Uh no. I don't think so.
Okay.
I did notice PlayStation Plus what there's essential, extra, and like premium or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was scrolling through this board looking at extra, the middle tier,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they kind of give you like it's like their game pass.
Mm-hmm.
Um all the old Assassin's Creeds are on there
Really?
except one. So you get the Ezio trilogy and then uh 3, 4, Syndicate, Unity, all of them are on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few games on there. And I think that might fit like my type of gaming style where I just want to try a game for a little bit. And like I enjoyed it when I had Game Pass for a little bit on
Mm-hmm.
my PC. I just kind of just dabbled in everything
Yeah.
to see. So I don't know. Sony might get my money on that one. They might.
Yeah. I'm looking. How much more is the extra than essential?
I don't remember. I think it's essential is like the old $60,
Mm-hmm.
but I could be wrong. I think extra was like $130. Which if you kind of
Yeah.
think about it, that's that's less than two full price next gen games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being that they're $70 now. So I mean, and I don't play a lot of brand new games, but I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. I think it's that actually probably because I also had Game Pass for a little while, and I didn't really use it much.
No.
Um, but being as much of a PlayStation guy as I am, and I think you are too, it
Mm-hmm.
almost sounds like that might be more uh useful for me. I don't know. Like that might be something to try for a month, and
I really wish there was a trial.
yeah.
I think screwing up by not, like, when they changed all this last year
Mm-hmm.
to these tiers. Like, they should have just gave everybody a month trial, or hell, a week,
Yeah.
and just let everyone hit that dopamine rush of being able to play as many games as you want whenever
Yeah.
you want. And then I bet a lot of people would have kept it after that.
Yeah. Well, I think Sony has messed up a few things lately.
Yeah.
But I'm still mad about the PlayStation Portal being streaming only.
I watched Game Rank's review of that,
Mm-hmm.
and he mentioned that he was playing it at the office while his PlayStation was at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's still not local. He's still streaming it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they're in New York City, where their internet is probably like 5 terabytes.
Yeah.
Not the old Midwest internet here.
Yeah. I've seen varying reviews on it.
Yeah.
One guy that I follow did a review where he just, he tore it to shreds. He thought it was awful because he played it on his home internet, which is like, fiber, like 1 gig, like really good Wi-Fi, and it still had it. Like, it played mostly okay, but it still had its hiccups. But then he tried to play it at like a coffee shop or something, and it was just terrible. You can't connect Bluetooth to it.
Oh yeah.
Except
Yeah.
for the PlayStation Bluetooth earbuds.
Like, come on, man. So easy.
Yeah. And
I bet that's a factor for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight up no. Like, if I can't connect Bluetooth to it, I won't buy it.
Yeah.
I bet there's a lot of people like that.
Well, I mean, even Switch did that for a while. Like, you couldn't.
And all it took was a software update.
Yeah. Because
Like, the tech's in there.
yeah, it has Bluetooth in it. Like, all of these devices do. They just like lock it behind. You either have to use our specific earbuds that are also like $200, I think.
And ugly.
Yeah. Or plug in, which, not many people really have plug-in headphones anymore.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
But yeah, and then the other thing that, like, there was a part of me at one point that was like, maybe it would be cool, because I do travel a lot for work, and I love PlayStation. It's my favorite. All my favorite games are PlayStation. So my dream is to have like the PlayStation version of a Switch or a Steam Deck, where I can have all my games from PS5 locally stored. But there was a part of me that was like, okay, maybe this would be cool. I could play it at hotels and stuff like that. But then I found out it doesn't even have a web browser on it. And I don't know how often you stay in hotels or use Wi-Fi like that, but most of them you have to use a web browser to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Right. Okay.
It's like you have to put in a passcode or put in your email or something. Like, there's something you have to do on every device to be able to even connect to the network. So can't do that on a Portal because there's no web browser.
Yeah, you won't be able to connect to any Wi-Fi.
Yeah, which cuts out what would probably be one of the most useful like parts of that device, and it removes that. So
one day we'll get the Vita back.
God,
I mean, it would be a gold mine.
oh yeah,
I don't get why they don't do it. A literal gold mine.
It'd be so easy. Honestly,
it's so easy.
They make this thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can keep the same design. I mean, they might have to make it a little bit bigger to include like the like a bigger hard drive and
Right.
like the components that would be needed for it to have memory and storage and all that stuff. But you make it uh the same design with the basically cut in half DualSense so that you still get all of the DualSense capabilities with the haptic feedback and all that stuff. But just give it local storage and make it be able to play PS5 games at 720p, 60 FPS. Like, that's not that difficult of a task, especially for Sony, which is one of the biggest tech companies in the world. You do that, you could even charge $300 for that, and I guarantee you people would buy it. No question.
Yeah, 300, 350. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you could print money for that.
Exactly.
But
that would probably be a day one for me. You know,
oh yeah,
I'd be saving up for that.
Yeah, that would.
Because yeah, like you said, I'm the same way. I love my PlayStation games. And they could have like some exclusive handheld exclusive games. You know, that would be so cool. Yeah. But whatever.
But anyway,
Sony doing Sony things.
Always. Okay, well, we killed the first hour just talking about what we've been playing, so
that was easy.
Yeah. We have a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
So kind of breeze through these topics real quick, and then we'll get into our Game Awards stuff. So GTA 6 finally has its first trailer coming out this week on Tuesday.
Jake, how old were we when GTA 5 came out?
I was 21. I was in 22. No, 21. Confirmed. I was in college. I remember me and my roommates going to pick it up at midnight for 360 2 generations ago.
Yeah.
And it was great. And they have continued to ride the wave of that game for a full decade now.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll be more than a decade by the time the game finally comes out.
Oh yeah, it's not coming out next year.
No way.
But that's 2025 for sure. Depending on your definition of like generation, but I bet GTA 5 has spanned at least 2 generations.
Yeah. Or
like
3 now.
Human
generations. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not console generations.
I mean, yeah, probably. I think it came out for us millennials in like our teens and early 20s. I'm sure there was people in the generation before us that played it as well. All of Gen Z has played it and probably continues to play it. And even, I mean, I don't know how young, like, I think Gen Alpha is the current youngest generation. I don't know how young or how old they get, but I'm sure there's some of them that are playing it too.
Well, I mean, obviously I don't let my 8-year-old daughter play it, but she talks about it. Like, she sees it on YouTube. All of her favorite YouTubers play it. I mean, she was born in 2015. Like, the game is older than her.
Yeah.
It's wild that she just talks about it. And like, it came out when I was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have been 22 as well, right?
It came out in 2013.
Yeah, in September.
I was 21. I do remember that.
What year were you born?
92.
So was I. Okay, so 21.
Yeah.
Math hard.
It's all good. We're we weren't math majors, clearly.
I was a math
Oh, were
major.
you?
my first go around. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like the first major doesn't really count.
No.
I think
no. Neither does the second.
I know very few people who started with one major and made it all the way through college with that same course of study.
Right.
But anyway,
But
GTA.
I couldn't give a crap less about GTA 6.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I'll play it.
I will definitely play it. I have played most of the GTA games to varying degrees. I think
Yeah.
GTA 5 I definitely played the most. Or I played the story more than any other one. Because I actually really enjoyed the campaign on that one. So I beat it on 360, and then when it came to PS4, I got that one and I played through all of that too. But I never got into GTA Online, which is really how that game has stayed alive as long as it has.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that that's what's been carrying Rockstar for mostly what's been carrying Rockstar for the last 10 years. Red Dead 2 came out in that time, obviously, which was huge, but
Right.
yeah, GTA Online 10 years later is just as big as it's always been, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
But I'll definitely play it. I don't think it'll go further than just the base game for me. Like I'm sure they'll probably transition GTA Online over to that whenever it comes out.
Yep.
I don't think I'll really get into that much.
Do you think they'll do the same thing they did with GTA 5 where the online didn't come out for like a month or two after release? That way everybody had time to play the story.
Probably. I feel like that makes the most sense because I
I
think
don't think they will.
I think they did the same thing with Red Dead, where
Yeah.
like the base game came out and then maybe a few months after that is when they actually dropped the online.
I don't know. I feel like people would just be upset. That's kind of like releasing Call of Duty with only the campaign
Yeah.
for the first month or couple weeks or whatever. I think people just want to get into their online, but I don't know. Maybe they won't.
Yeah, I think I'm interested to see how they go about this. I'm also interested to see how much they show from this trailer coming out.
Yeah.
Because there's been a few little leaks and things like that over the last year or two. And just today or yesterday, I think I heard or I saw online that there's supposedly was a leak of some in-game footage from one of the developer's sons posting it on TikTok.
How did he get that? Sneaky.
Oh man. What an easy way to get your dad fired.
Yeah, steal his work.
Yeah.
And then post it online.
If there was any job where you cannot have that happen, it's
It's
that
the
one.
video game. Or GTA 6
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. I mean, either way, that game is going to make $10 billion and
Yep. Agreed.
Rockstar will ride that one for another 15 years.
Yep. Red Dead 3, you'll get that in 2030.
I do wonder what they could do with Red Dead from here on out. If they could make another Red Dead game, it'd have to be probably a completely new cast or
Double prequel.
yeah, the prequel for the
to
prequel.
The prequel. This time you play as Dutch.
That I'm
Dutch.
Dutch.
That was pretty good.
I had a plan. Yeah, well, we'll see. Rockstar, no matter what they do, they're gonna rake in money. So
Yep. Yep. Printer over there.
yeah. But anyway, so that's coming out on Tuesday at time of recording this. That's in 2 days. So maybe next episode we'll talk about whatever comes out from that.
Yeah.
And another company that seems to be very invested in printing money nowadays, Naughty Dog officially announced a Last of Us Part 2 remaster. Now,
Good for them.
I have many thoughts on this, but I'll try and keep it pretty compact in saying why.
Part 2 came out released for PS5, correct?
It released on PS4 the year PS5 came out. So it released in June and PS5 came out in November.
Okay.
So
all right.
very end of the generation.
I guess. Yeah.
Which, yeah, I guess technically Last of Us 1, the original, came out at the very end of the PS3 life cycle, and then maybe like a year later there was a remaster for PS4. But I feel like there was more substantial upgrades between those two.
Yeah.
Like, not a ton. The original PS3 game I think still looks great.
Really? Okay.
But the remaster did improve on things, and kind of brought it up to speed with the rest of PS4 at the time. And then obviously they came out with Last of Us Part 1 last year, 2 years ago, to bring that game up to the level of Part 2, which still, having released 3 years ago on a different generation, still looks better than, I would argue, most games on current generation.
Yeah, I might agree with you on
That,
that. Yeah, wow. I mean, Part 2 already looked perfectly amazing.
Yeah.
I don't see why they felt the need to improve it.
I don't know. That game,
I kind of feel like it's not for you. It's not for the people that have played it already. It might be for the people that haven't.
but it is for me though. Like, here's the thing:
they didn't make it for you, Jake.
they didn't make it for me.
You want it,
but
yeah. They made it for the schmucks like me, who just get on their PS5 and search Last of Us Part 1, and they can or Part 2, and there it is. But it's what's the price point? Is it gonna be $70?
Well, here's the thing: if you had it on PS4, it's only a $10 upgrade, which is good. I will give them credit on that, because that, I think that's reasonable. For new players, it'll probably be $70, which, if you never played it on PS4 and this is your only way to play it, I guess that makes sense. Like, it being, I assume, the best way to experience the game. I could see that making sense.
Yeah.
But for what it's not so much like the fact that it's not so much that I'm upset that it's a thing. Because there are parts of it that are cool. Like the graphical upgrades, I don't think I'm even going to notice. but they're adding in like I think it's called no return mode, which is like a roguelike, like basically survive as long as you can type
Okay.
of mode, which does sound
That
kind of
sounds pretty.
cool.
Yeah, it does. That sounds fun.
And I think you'll be able to play as different characters. Like I know Lev is one that'll be playable, um, which will be cool. I imagine the mechanics will be the same. Like I don't think you're going to be able to like do gymnastics type stuff like Lev could probably do. Um, but that'll be cool. And then there's also lost levels that will be included, um, which from what it sounds like are basically levels that were created for the original game that didn't make it. Um,
Okay.
which I think they're going to be mostly narrative focused or like kind of more similar to like the museum section from the game where it's not real combat focused. It's going to be more about like walking around interacting with characters and stuff.
Sure.
um which for fans of the game as big as me, that part does excite me because I want, getting to
Yeah.
see,
Well,
you know, maybe explore some
that
things that you didn't really get to in the base game.
right, and that museum sequence is one of the most powerful in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they can even capture a little bit of that in these new parts, I mean, so having that much stuff like a new game mode, some new levels. I mean, that sounds worth a $10 upgrade
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So as long as they've got like some new stuff going in it, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's where I think I'm conflicted on it because as a, you know, as big of a fan as I am of this series, I am excited for this. And
Mm-hmm.
like not just for all the new stuff, but of course they had to release a special edition, which I'm going to buy
You will
because
have to buy that.
I
Yeah.
have to have it. It's not negotiable. Um, but like it's still, if I was a reasonable person, I could spend the $10, no problem, and get something new out of it, which is cool. The reason I'm conflicted is I wish they would just stop using their resources to remaster games that just don't really need it
Yeah.
rather than putting that towards the next project, whether that be Last of Us 3 or maybe a completely new IP or something like that.
I mean, that's kind of the problem with the video game industry is if they don't release a game, they don't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of need that. They kind of need these to bridge that gap to their next thing.
Yeah.
So, video games are expensive to make. So I get why they're doing it. It just kind of sucks. And I heard like their next project is the full the multiplayer
Mm-hmm.
project. And last I heard, like they had to like greatly delay that.
Yeah.
Like indefinitely delayed that. Like I guess they I heard this on a different podcast where they brought in some people from Bungie,
Mm-hmm.
who are experts at live action or live service games with Destiny, and they pretty much told them this sucks.
Yeah.
You gotta like start over.
Yeah.
So they've had to like delay that indefinitely, and only after that are they working on Last of Us Part 3. So
Yeah. Which,
hunker down.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they did that. Because God, what a misstep. I think a live action or not a live service
Same thing.
Last of Us game would be. Like that is so not what you're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, there's a lot of people that really loved the factions game from the first one. I never really got into it personally.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of felt too Gears of War ish for me. Um, but a lot of people really liked it. And if they were to go the route of a live service, which I think for most people kind of feels like a cash grab, um, I think that they would lose lot of uh, a lot of respect from the fans.
And like I feel like a failed project like that could be like a company killer.
Yeah.
If they spent too much money and it was a big enough flop,
Mm-hmm.
they might have to shut their doors. So
Yeah. Which, Naughty Dog, obviously they've been around a long time. They're very respected and they have been very successful. They're not a rock star. Um they're not going to be able to survive solely off of their online game with microtransactions and uh stuff like that. Like they're known for their fully fleshed out narrative games. So if they want to release just a standalone multiplayer game, good, cool. Just leave it at
yeah,
that though. Do not
yep,
try and be Bungie or Rockstar or like Fortnite. Just put the game out there for people to play it um, on the current generation and then leave it at that, I think.
yeah, support it, but not quite to the level of Destiny and
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite and stuff like that, having like multiple seasons and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
just
Maybe take it maybe a little more old school,
yeah,
in the online format.
or just add it to this new Last of Us remastered. Like,
Yeah, true.
just make it a part of that. Like, I don't, I don't really fully understand having to have a standalone game unless you're trying to do the live service seasons type of thing, which God, I hope that's not the case.
I hope not too. Just for your sake, for your sanity.
Yeah, and my sanity in regards to Naughty Dog is already paper thin, so
You got a release date on that yet?
uh January 13th or
Oh,
something.
okay.
It's not too
Okay.
far off.
Not far. Um, do you have the platinums for either of those games?
I do have the platinum for Last of Us 2. Although it was before the permadeath and um grounded difficulty came out.
Okay.
So I do have the platinum trophy for it, but I don't have 100% of the trophies because I
Weird.
still have
Okay.
to beat it on permadeath and on grounded, which I am
What? You gotta
never
beat it
gonna
in
do.
every difficulty?
No, only there's a trophy for beating the game on any difficulty. There's a trophy for beating it on permadeath, any difficulty, and any permadeath mode, because you can do by chapter, by uh, act, or by like the whole game. Um,
Okay.
and then there's a trophy specifically for beating it on grounded mode,
Yikes.
which is I think I tried playing grounded one time on the first game, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I made it maybe to like the second enemy encounter. Like it is stupidly hard. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Well, do you think you've gotten better at video games since then, or worse?
No, I don't think so.
Worse it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think as I have aged, I think my skills have only decreased.
Yep, I might agree with you on that one.
But anyway, so yeah.
Any more thoughts on Last of Us?
I guess I'm spending another $100 on a steelbook and some stickers or something. I think it comes with like collectible trading cards or something. So
Ooh, I see. Cool.
yeah, I'll look at those one time.
It's gonna look good on that empty shelf behind you. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll be able to get another shelf with all my most of our collectibles weren't even displayed in the old game room. Like,
no,
I think I have enough to fill another one of these shelves probably.
dang.
If I put everything out.
Get yourself a big old bookshelf.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to make this whole, I mean, you can't see it, but this whole wall behind us, I would love to just like fill it with shelves and put a bunch of collectibles on it.
Yes, I'm imagining a big empty shelf. I can see it. Like I'm there.
Yep.
Okay, should we move on to our game awards?
Yeah, I think we probably ought to jump into that.
Cool. I'm gonna swap over. Okay, so we're gonna go through these. We skipped a lot of the esports stuff and content creator of the year. We're just gonna start with most anticipated game.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So most anticipated game for, I'm assuming, are all these next year? I don't know if all these are announced for next year.
The only,
Like
I mean,
Hades and Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know if they've got.
I don't
if they got release dates.
I don't think those are next year.
But whatever, they're coming out sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
Right. Well, I will go out on record here and say that I'm not really that excited for any of these.
Well, you're stupid.
That's fair. No, I mean, I'm comparing it to last year when we had, this list was stacked.
Yep.
With Zelda and
yeah, I'm sure Tears won last year.
Yeah, Zelda and Spider-Man and Final Fantasy and Starfield.
Yeah.
This year, I think we got most of the games that I was really excited for this year, and now I think for me at least, we're going into a bit of not a low point, but I'm not as excited for anything as I was last year.
Yeah, I mean 2023 is going to go down as one of the best years ever for video games.
Oh, easily.
So since you don't really care about any of these, the official A to jump vote is going to be for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Because yeah, that's going to be awesome. It wants me to go to next category, but that's going to be it's content creator. We do not care about them. Okay, so next would be best adaptation. Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. Jake, I think Twisted Metal is going to take the A to jump vote.
Oh,
correct?
It's been a great run, guys. I think this is it. I think this is the end of the podcast and this friendship.
We're breaking up.
Yeah. No, there is one clear winner in this category.
Yes.
There is no argument about it.
It's not even close.
It is Gran Turismo. No, it's... 100%, it's The Last of Us. Never.
Yep.
I think that in terms of live action, there's never been a better adaptation. I think it comes very close to being the best there ever was. It's definitely in conversations for that. But it's fantastic. I loved every second of it, and I can't wait for season 2.
I also can't wait for season 2. I agree. Last of Us is definitely the best in here. I'm gonna close that. I can't wait for season 2 because I can't wait for all the people that hated the game so much to see what happens. Or I can't wait for an all new audience to see what everybody hated about the game.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see how angry people are.
They better not go back on it.
Dude,
that's all I'm saying.
They can't.
We're staying pretty spoiler free here, but if you know, you know.
Yeah.
They better not wimp out.
No, they have to. I understand that there are things that even in season 1 that they tweaked to kind of make it fit the television aspect more.
But they didn't change very much.
No, the base story stayed the same, and that was what was important. And
agreed.
Good God, do not shy away from that on season 2. You need to get certain things right on that.
Agreed. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Best multiplayer sponsored by Discord.
Hey, we're
Baldur's
on
Gate
there.
3. We are. Sponsored by A to Jump.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I only played one of these.
Yeah, same.
So Baldur's Gate 3 it is.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty clear choice on there. I think we won't get too ahead of ourselves, but Baldur's Gate is on this list a lot, and I think it's gonna go home with a lot.
I very much agree. All right.
Including this one.
Diablo 4 might. A lot of people like Diablo.
See, I've heard like very mixed reviews on Diablo 4. In that some people absolutely loved it, and then some people truly hated it.
Well, welcome to video games.
Yeah, you have a point there, but I feel like it was more like
more on the hate side.
With something like Baldur's Gate, I feel like it's hard to find people who hated it.
True.
Where Diablo 4, I think it's a little bit easier to find people who were on that side.
Yep. Next, best sports / racing. Now, Jake, I know this is your top category, so this vote really means a lot to you.
Yeah. I mean, wow, so many great choices.
Let me read through these really quick. EA Sports FC24, F123, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Turbocharged, and the Crew Motorfest. Played precisely 0 of these.
Really?
So,
you?
Yeah, me, not one.
Yeah, I did not play any of these. I don't have a strong opinion about any of them.
I played Forza Motorsport 4 when that came out,
which was
and I really
some time ago.
That had to have been pre-2012.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when. So in honor of pre-2012, shall we vote for Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, I think if there's anything on this list that I would say I'm a fan of, it's probably Forza just as a whole.
Right. You like the Horizon series, right?
I do enjoy them, but it's also a game that I pick up when it comes out for maybe a few hours, and then it sits in my library for several years. Like, I think I've owned every single Horizon, and I've beaten one of them.
Yeah. Great. I remember the first one. Man, the first one was so good.
Oh yeah, that's the only
I'm
one I
pretty
beat.
sure. Yeah, I was to say you and me probably played the crap out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next one is best sim/strategy. Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, City Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. I would have loved to have played all of these games, but I only got to one, and it was Fire Emblem Engage. Do you have any opinions on these?
Well, you know I love strategy games so
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably
Yes.
the biggest fan of them on this podcast. Uh, however, I did not play any of these. Um, Therefore, I don't have a strong opinion on any of them. Um, so I will leave this choice to you, sir.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Um, yeah, Fire Emblem Engage. It was good. Not as good as Three Houses, but
Mm-hmm.
it was good.
Good.
Best family. Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, or Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I played 0 of these as well.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't played Disney Illusion Island at all? Or is this Jetpack played that?
No. I have played a Disney game this year. The Disney Dreamlight Valley is a
Oh, am I getting those two confused?
yeah, it's a different thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Disney Dreamlight Valley is more like Disney Stardew, basically, but in 3D.
Sorry, everyone.
You're forgiven.
So none of these. You haven't played any of these either.
No.
I feel like Sonic is the underdog.
Yeah, we can throw it to Sonic.
Okay. I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for my GameCube way back in the day.
I think we have talked about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on about half of the episodes we've done of this show.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. I think it's funny because it comes up. It's come up a lot in the last few years because of Sonic Frontiers coming out, and
Yeah.
that.
Hey, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Chow Garden.
Yeah,
I loved my chows. Okay.
that's fair.
All right. Best fighting. God of Rock.
What?
It's God of Rock.
I
Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, Street Fighter 6. I literally haven't heard of half of these.
It is weird
Two
for me to not
fifths.
have heard anything about a game. Like normally when I go through these lists, like maybe some on like the indie side or like the games for impact I won't have heard of, but
Yeah.
I have never even read the words God of Rock or Pocket Bravery before. I have
Me neither.
no idea what
They
those are.
gotta be mobile games, right?
Yeah, now that I'm looking at the artwork, it kind of gives me mobile vibes.
And Nickelodeon also. I did not know you could be Aang. That's
Oh, I
pretty
didn't
sick.
know that either.
I might have played it if I could be the Airbender or the Avatar.
We're actually working our way through that series for the first time.
I was just gonna add for the first time.
Yeah,
How are you enjoying it?
great. We're in
I
season
love it,
2
dude.
right now.
So good.
Yeah.
And Zuko is the goat.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. excited. I think we're maybe like halfway through season 2. I don't remember where exactly. Um, since we didn't have internet for a while, we couldn't stream anything, so it's been a few weeks since we watched, but I'm excited to get back into
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah, I love Avatar. I'd love to talk about it when you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so in honor of Aang, the Avatar, we'll go with Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2.
That's good with me.
Okay.
You
I'm the Avatar.
always gotta throw respect to SpongeBob as well.
Oh yes, of course. Like SpongeBob getting beat up by Garfield.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, here's a good one. Best RPG.
Oh boy.
This is a tough one, my friend. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Yeah. Um,
We can cross FF16 off this list because it is not the best RPG.
which is, I know we've talked about it a lot, but it's still crazy to hear from you that you're counting out a Final Fantasy right away.
It is so sad how disappointed I was.
Well, we can go ahead and cross Starfield off of this list right away.
Okay. All right.
Because that's how disappointed I was in that game.
Okay. Did you play Liza P at all?
I did. I played the demo, and I do
Okay.
intend to get around to it at some point. It's a Dark Souls kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, very much a Bloodborne clone.
Yeah, which Bloodborne, at least in its aesthetic and like its artwork and everything, is very cool. I'm just bad at it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, but
Sea of Stars I dabbled in. I definitely didn't play it enough to ever like talk about it. But I enjoyed what I played.
I have heard a lot of good things about Sea of Stars. I obviously haven't played it.
Yeah.
But I've heard people say that they thought it should have been a Game of the Year contender.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get back into it. I bought it for my Switch and I kind of regret it. I wish I would have got it on my PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back from it. So I think we're kind of between Sea of Stars and Baldur's Gate, which I kind of feel like it's got to go to Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, I don't see how you can't give it to Baldur's Gate. Like as good as Sea of Stars probably is, I don't think there's a game this year that has made as big of an impact as Baldur's Gate has, especially for RPGs.
I gotta agree with you. Yep, I agree. Asterion, we know what kind of dirty things people are doing to you. You can have our vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Oh man, okay, best action adventure. Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. How'd that get on there? That must be a mistake. And The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Holy crap. Okay. So I forgot to talk about Alan Wake 2. Full disclosure, I did not play it.
Mm-hmm.
Did not play it, but I watched a full Let's Play on YouTube, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not good. Not good.
See,
if you want to just be confused for 20 hours and have absolutely no idea what's going on, go ahead and play this game. Incredibly creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gets a 10 out of 10 in creativity. It would win an art project competition. The visually it's stunning. The story goes some very weird places
Mm-hmm.
that you will never see coming and you might find genuinely hilarious. It's just weird, but man, by the end of it, no clue. Like I don't know what he's doing, why he's doing it, and the voice acting was bad,
Yeah.
bad. And I think the woman that plays Saga, which is one of the main characters, is up for best voice actor. I don't get it. What were they listening to? Because like I don't mean to just straight up talk shit about her, but she's not a voice actor. Like I looked her up and she just seems like a screen actor.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like her first voice acting gig, and a lot of times that doesn't always work. Voice actors or screen actors don't always translate well to just straight up voice actors, and it's pretty obvious with her. Like sometimes she's a FBI agent, and like I shit you not, at one point she's like trying to chase down somebody, and she just like says in this exact tone, "Hey, stop!" I'm like, I'm sorry, was that acting? Like, I feel like I could have put more emotion into that.
Oh man.
But such a weird game, man.
See, like, it's crazy. I mean, we've talked about this before, I think. You've told, or I think just at least in text, you've told me your thoughts on this game. I haven't watched like anything on it besides trailers and like maybe a couple YouTube reviews of it, and it seems like people really like it. Not saying that you're wrong
Well,
by
yeah,
any
I mean,
means, but I'm wondering the same thing. Like, what are people seeing in it that's so compelling? Because there's people who are legitimately arguing it for game of the year.
I guess just its creativity. I mean, it's like I said, it's visually stunning, and just like the battles, like some of the fights are pretty good, but like the YouTuber I was watching, like the combat is just a slog. I mean, the enemies are bullet sponges, and um, but like the story bits were good. Like the boss fights, um, were pretty creative and kind of cool. But I mean, everything but that was just, I don't get it. I don't see what everybody else is seeing, and it's confusing, and it just seemed not fun to play.
Yeah. When looking at this category as a whole, um, you know, even just going off of the definition they have right here for the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, like, I don't see how it doesn't go to either Spider-Man or Tears of the Kingdom. When you're combining all of those things, combat, especially traversal and puzzle solving,
Yeah.
that's the adventure part of that to me is the traversal.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's an argument for, I'm sure that Jedi Survivor has some of these things, but it's not going to beat Spider-Man or Zelda.
No. I don't know. Alan Wake 2 had some puzzle solving, but I don't think it was very. It definitely wasn't like top tier. Like there's some really cool parts in there. Like they blend a lot of like live action scenes, like real life actors on screen, and you'll just like switch back and forth between live action and like motion capture actors. So I mean that's pretty cool. There's some puzzle solving, especially with Alan, because you play as Saga and Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Alan can like change the environment he's in by like lighting light bulbs. It sounds weird,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's cool, but definitely just not on the same level as the rest of these. And like you said, okay, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, it's Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're talking like the best of the best, and all three of those things. I didn't play Spider-Man, so maybe you can try to argue for that, but I don't see how anything can top Zelda's puzzle solving.
And that's where I have to agree with you on that. Is as much as I love Spider-Man, for its its combat and its traversal, absolutely make it part of this, a reasonable choice for this category. The but puzzle solving, when you put all of that together, it's Tears of the Kingdom. Like,
Yep.
Spider-Man's great, and there are some puzzles to it, but for all those three things, it's Tears of the Kingdom 100%.
I would have to agree with you. Okay.
All right.
Next, best action game, which is definitely not the same, Jake, as action adventure. These have no adventure.
Yep, this is strictly action. There is no adventure involved at all.
Nope. So we have Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. You got another category where I played 0.
Yeah.
Did you play any of these?
Nope, not one.
Okay. All right. So which one looks coolest to you?
If there was any that I saw a lot of people liked Armored Core, from Software, but not a Souls game.
Right.
But I did see Ghost Runner 2, and I thought that looked pretty cool.
All right.
So I guess I'll give it to Armored Core, but
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta change my vote.
no, you did you give it to Ghost Runner?
I did. You
Just-
really sounded like you were gonna go that way.
You know what? Keep it on Ghost Runner.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Did you change it back?
Yes. Okay, Ghost Runner. Final answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no.
No, well,
No, keep
I'm
Ghost
I'm ending
Runner.
the call.
Final answer.
I'm ending the call. To the rest of my own.
All right, bye guys.
Okay, next, best VR/AR. For the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform.
Okay.
Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, or Synapse.
No idea.
We want to go with Horizon because it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I
watched a little bit of gameplay of this. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah. If we didn't, for the record, I'm fine with that being the choice. If we didn't, I would probably say Resident Evil, just because that is a game that I'll absolutely never play in VR, because it would be terrifying. But there are people who would definitely, who are braver than me, that would find that very exciting.
I don't play those games not in VR.
Yeah, me neither.
Definitely not playing them in VR.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, baby. This is for all the potatoes. Best mobile game.
It took me a second to get to where we were.
We have Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. Played 0 of these.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not true. I played Honkai Star Rail for about 6 minutes. And my phone felt like it was gonna explode, so I stopped.
Oh man.
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, I think, is like the entire Final Fantasy VII timeline in one place, but it's heavily microtransaction did and mobile game bullcrap. But yeah, I don't care. What do you want to do?
I don't know anything about it, but I kind of want to give it to Monster Hunter just because why not?
Okay, yeah, Monster Hunter's cool.
Yeah.
I've heard that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the normal or like the mainline Monster Hunters.
Yeah. I was going to say give it to Final Fantasy because that's one of your favorite series, but hearing that it's super microtransaction-y, yeah, I don't really want to reward that. And
yep, takes it out.
Monster Hunter, for all I know, could be the same thing, but
right.
it's a series.
But we don't know that for sure.
It's a series a lot of people respect, and I, without playing it, I have respect for it as a series. So we'll give them a win.
Sounds good. Yeah, Capcom really needs it. They're so unsuccessful.
Yeah, you're right.
Best debut indie game for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Which I've heard there's some discrepancy in this. So you got Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. Dredge, not an indie game.
Really?
No, it has a. I'm pretty sure it's. I just heard this. I don't know why. I guess I'm kind of confused of what exactly constitutes an indie game.
So I wonder if because it says it's best debut indie game, so it's the first game from a new studio, but I wonder if is the indie part of it where Dredge is kind of held up because it is from a larger studio, or
look at Cocoon. That's published by Annapurna.
I think Annapurna is still technically an indie publisher. I guess having a publisher,
yeah,
kind of,
but I mean,
makes it not.
The only ones that don't have a publisher are Pizza Tower and Venba. Because Viewfinder, I mean, it'd be tough to make any game without a publisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I don't know.
Did you play any of these?
Nope, not a one.
Yeah, I didn't personally play Dredge, but Jetpack played it quite a bit, and
okay.
Really enjoyed it. She kept telling me to play it, and I intended on it, just never have.
Okay. Well, in honor of Jetpack, I say we vote for Dredge.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We love you, Jetpack.
Love you. It's like 1 a.m. right now, so I think she's asleep. But
yeah, I'm sure my wife's asleep by now too. Okay, well now, best independent game. For outstanding creative and technical achievements in a game made outside the traditional publisher's system. Okay, well that's not ambiguous at all. What the heck does traditional publisher system mean?
That sounds really vague, because Annapurna, Thunderful Publishing, Team 17, those are all publishers.
Yeah, Annapurna is a giant publisher. Yeah. They make really big games.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Let's give this vote to Sea of Stars. We didn't give them love on the RPG, right?
I was thinking the same. I think that
okay.
I think they've earned it.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Next, best community support. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. Cyberpunk gets me raising my eyebrow a little bit.
Yeah. So off, off of instinct, I want to give this to Baldur's Gate. Um, but
Right.
Cyberpunk basically, I mean, I haven't played the expansion yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of sounds like Cyberpunk redeemed itself this year,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is pretty huge. Like, I mean, I wish it would have been a fully fleshed out game when it released, but for it to be in as bad of a state and have as bad of a reputation as it did for the last 3 years, for it to be almost unanimously decided now that it's redeemed itself is a pretty big deal.
I agree. Um,
Uh,
this goes back to our indie debacle here. Larian Studio, like CD Projekt Red, develops and publishes their own games.
yeah.
At least Cyberpunk did.
Mm-hmm.
Witcher 3, I don't think was. And Larian, same.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these two are technically, and Bungie's independent.
Yeah. All of these are independent, apparently. None of these have a publisher attached.
Yeah, like Square Enix is their own. So
Apparently, Hello Games is their own too.
Yeah. I don't know how. But sorry, go ahead.
All I wanted to say is just I don't think I'm gonna give it to them, but whenever I see No Man's Sky, I think they're on this list every year, and
Yeah.
I always want to give them some credit for how much they fixed this game over the years, and how it's people love it now. I don't think they're getting my vote this year, but I want to give some respect to Sean Murray. I think you you picked yourself up, bud.
Yeah, way to go. Dust yourself off.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's give it to Cyberpunk.
Yeah. All right. I'm good with that.
Okay. We're gonna breeze through a few of these. Best ongoing: Apex, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. I don't think Cyberpunk is an ongoing game. It's like the outlier in these five.
I mean,
It just released an expansion. Like that's it.
Yeah. I don't. Outstanding development of ongoing content. I mean, they've had one expansion.
One ongoing content.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. What's your favorite out of these?
I mean, I don't really care for any of them. I kind of want to give it. I mean, I think they probably get it every year. But I kind of want to give it to Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because
respect.
Just in the definition of an ongoing game, that
they created the definition of an ongoing game.
And it's still free. Like you can buy a physical copy, and it's obviously riddled with microtransactions, but the base game is free.
Yeah.
And they've continued to add to it. Apparently they just added Peter Griffin to it, which is kind of funny.
Come on.
But
oh my god.
Yeah, I think I'd give it to Fortnite. I think they definitely fit that definition the best.
Okay, I agree. I voted for it. Okay, next one. Games for Impact. Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, Venba. Which one has the coolest thumbnail, Jake?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of I really like the. This is just strictly going off of the name. I really like A
Mm-hmm.
Space for the Unbound.
I agree. I
I
think
don't.
the thumbnail is cool too. There's a cat.
There is a cat.
I don't know if you noticed the cat.
Yeah. I was gonna say Chia because I remember seeing that game at some showcase and I thought it looked
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of think we go with Space for the Unbound. I think
Okay.
it's
Good for
a
you,
cool
Space
name. They
Inbound.
have a cat.
Yep.
I'm cool with that.
One of these years, we're gonna have to play one of these, see if there's actually an impact.
Yeah. When the
Innovation and accessibility. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6.
um
You like Spider-Man for this? Did they do a lot for accessibility?
I couldn't tell you from personal experience
Right?
because I just didn't dive into that menu at all. But
Mm-hmm.
from, Sony's always been good about keeping their games up to date with accessibility, so I feel like I can confidently say Spider-Man for this one.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Done.
Yep.
Best performance. Oh, okay. We have Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba from Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Melanie Libbard from Alan Wake 2, Neil Newban from Baldur's Gate 3. I think that's Asterion.
Yeah.
Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Well, you having played you've actually played or watched more of these than I have. Um so I'm wondering what your thoughts on it are. I know your front runner is Alan Wake 2, but um
Well,
no,
sir.
what did you've said that you really like the story of Final Fantasy 16. Do you think that that's a
I mean,
contender?
I mean, yeah, it's fine. Um, I know he's like a really nice dude.
Mhm.
He's done a lot for the game and for the community and stuff. His performance is it's a performance.
Mhm.
It's fine.
Yep.
It's not bad. I wouldn't say holy crap, it's the best performance in a Final Fantasy game ever.
Yeah, I think so the only game on this list that I really have experience with is Spider-Man. Um and I do like I think Yuri did a really good job with Peter, especially in this game
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot more emotional moments with Peter in this one.
Okay.
Um and I think he may have voiced him in the previous one too.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Um but just based off the impact that specifically Asterion has had on the gaming world,
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of have to give it to Neil here.
All right. Neil Newman,
Yeah.
congratulations. You get the A to jump vote.
Yeah.
That's twice as much as any other vote.
The most prestigious award, really.
Okay, best audio design. Now this could get interesting for Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. Now I know Hi-Fi Rush was like a rhythm game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Lots of music in that. Alan Wake 2 was pretty cool, audio wise.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Um, again, only experience with Spider-Man, so
Yeah.
based on what I've heard, um, I think it'd be between Alan Wake 2 and Hi-Fi Rush, since that one's kind of focused on audio in a way.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. Hi-Fi it is.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Score and music. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. Yikes. All these are pretty good. I haven't heard anything on Hi-Fi Rush, but the other ones, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom reused a lot of music from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I think as much as, I love and respect Tears of the Kingdom, I don't think they, in terms of the music, I don't think they did much to expand on what Breath of the Wild already did.
Yeah. I mean, the new stuff is good, but there's just not, it's not all new stuff, you know?
And it's not really a game that focuses that heavily on music.
Yeah.
Like in the main story beats there is, but for the most part, it's very just ambient. I think this would have been it would have been a better choice for sound design, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that. So Alan Wake 2 had like all original music. Like they made like real songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Huh. I'm kind of torn.
Torn between that and Baldur's Gate, or would you give Final Fantasy a spot in this race?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would.
Well, I'm kind of open to either one or to any of them.
You know what? Let's just make this easy. Let's just go with Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. think
It's good. It's got good music. I think we both can agree on that. And we both have heard it.
Yeah.
Whereas I've only heard the other ones. Okay, best art direction. There's no. It's Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Like this is the category that this just blows every other game out of the water. Not even close.
Yeah. Like the other games on this list, like all deserve their credit, but I think Alan Wake 2 is about the art direction.
Yeah,
I would say
literally. Yep, it's gonna win every single art project contest ever to exist. Yeah, there's no way that game doesn't win that category. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of these. Best narrative: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Man, these are all good games, man. This is tough.
It's a big year for video games, man. I mean, again, I only really have experience with Spider-Man's story. I have experienced a very small chunk of Baldur's Gate. But from everything I hear, it's fantastic. But I also hear Phantom Liberty is really good. Like,
yeah. I don't know. Like the only one that we have experience with, you only have with Spider-Man, and I only have it with Final Fantasy 16. I don't know.
So if we're going,
how do we decide this?
If we're going off of our own experience,
yeah, which we kind of should, I guess.
I think, would you want to give it to Final Fantasy?
I mean, I would, but it's the only one I've experienced.
Yeah, I think I would. I will let you take this one because even though I do really like Spider-Man's story, and I think that it is improved on the previous games, it still sort of falls flat for me on Miles' side, since it is
Okay.
a dual narrative kind of. His sections of the game never really impact me the way that Peter's do. Um, and for that, I think that it kind of uh, isn't as compelling as some of these other ones would be.
Okay. Yeah, Alan Wake 2, its narrative, man, through the basement,
Mm-hmm.
fell through. I don't, what narrative? I didn't follow any of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Best game direction. Here we are again. Alan Wake 2. Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Wonder, or Tears of the Kingdom. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
See, now when I think we probably had this discussion last year too,
Probably.
between narrative and game direction. I
Yeah.
see narrative as obviously the story direction. In game direction, I see it as more of the gameplay. Um,
Yeah. Creative gameplay.
yeah, which I don't know. I feel like at the beginning of the year, um, or even through most of the year, I would say that uh, we probably would have said Tears of the Kingdom here.
Okay.
But as the year's gone on, and I've kind of thought about it more, I feel like uh, Tears of the Kingdom is kind of um, felt like sort of an expansion on Breath of the Wild rather than being a innovative game for me. I don't know if you feel the same
Wow.
way at all.
Wow. No. No. Let's get. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
It's not it's definitely not doing anything super new, I guess. Is
like
that what is that what you're trying to get at?
yeah, like I mean, I don't want to discredit Tears of the Kingdom. It's
No, not
still
in any
an
way.
incredible game, but the more that I played it, um, the less impact it had on me, and I think that's because it felt so similar to Breath of the Wild. Like the things that they
Okay.
added to it were great, um, but like the new abilities and stuff, but it still felt so similar in a lot of ways, and that's where it kind of uh, that's where it kind of falls for me in terms of not being as innovative.
Okay. So if we're talking truly like new and unique, what do we? Yeah, it kind of takes Spider-Man out of it too, right?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's the same thing. As much as I love it, and as much as I do think they've improved on things, it's very. It could absolutely be an expansion on Spider-Man 2018.
Yeah. So that brings us down to Mario, Baldur's Gate, and Alan Wake.
Now, I haven't played Mario, um,
Same.
so I don't know. My opinion on it pretty much just goes off of what I've seen from it. Um, it seems like it's it definitely is still like a 2D Mario, but they added a lot of interesting elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also, Baldur's Gate, this is the first uh game that I've played of the series, so I don't know how much they've innovated on that either. Like
Yeah.
this is tough because all of these are sequels.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
And it's you can only do so much when innovating a sequel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I mean, Jesus Christ. Innovation in game direction and design kind of has me floating between Alan Wake and Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Because if we're talking like just strictly creative vision, like Alan Wake for sure, but game direction and design, like putting those all together, like all those aspects kind of fall flat with Alan Wake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all three of those like thrive with Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. I think we can confidently say that Baldur's Gate is the winner in that regard.
I confidently agree with you.
All right.
Oh, that's our last one. Game of the year. Man, so many games or so many categories have these same games.
Yeah.
All right, so Alan Wake 2, nope. Baldur's Gate 3, maybe. Marvel Spider-Man 2, maybe. Resident Evil 4, nope. I'm just saying nope because we didn't play them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder, also nope. And Tears of the Kingdom. So, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think either of us have played Baldur's Gate 3 enough.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I think it comes down to, does your love for Spider-Man outweigh the love you had for Tears of the Kingdom?
And that's where it's tricky because again, I feel like my thoughts have changed so much over the last year. Like, because Tears of the Kingdom, it always it almost felt like a game we were never gonna get for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was, because of that, it so much hype was built up for it. So it was almost thinking about this year's show when Tears of the Kingdom came out. I said, well, there's no question it's gonna clean up. Like, it's going to be game of the year.
Right.
For me, I feel like Spider-Man 2 is sort of inching ahead, but that could also just be recency bias.
Right.
I think we got to give it to Tears of the Kingdom, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, since this is the official A to Jump vote, I think our collective love for Tears of the Kingdom is higher than Spider-Man,
yeah.
because I didn't play Spider-Man.
Yeah. If this was just me voting, it might be different. Yeah. But for us as a group, and just overall, I think in the gaming community, Tears of the Kingdom, I think, deserves to win.
I agree. I don't think I think the only game that has a chance is Baldur's Gate, but I still don't think it's going to.
Yeah, it'll be.
I think it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it will be.
The A to Jump. It will be what? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it will be interesting to see what actually happens with this show. Because I think the Game Awards is all fan voted, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a fan vote, but I think the official comes from like publications.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see who actually wins. I think it has to be between either Baldur's Gate or Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it actually could be kind of a toss up, just with how big Baldur's Gate was this year.
Yeah, I agree. I was wondering if enough people played Baldur's Gate over Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we are. The A to Jump Game of the Year. Tears of the Kingdom.
What a year it was, man.
It was quite a year. I wish I got to play more.
Yeah, that's all I kept thinking while we were going through this is like, I wish I would have played that. Like,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
so many games.
maybe next year it'll be a better year for that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's just been, there's too many games, man.
Too many games, not enough time, too much other crap going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right. There you have it.
There we are. Well,
that's it.
It's been a heck of a year. I don't know if we're planning on doing any more episodes before the end of the year. If not, thank you guys for a great 2023.
Yeah.
I think I'm excited to see what happens with the Game Awards and, see what's coming in the future with gaming.
Hopefully nobody bothers Geoff.
Leave Geoff alone.
Just poor Geoff Keighley.
Just
yeah, if we can squeeze in one more before the end of the year, maybe we'll go over the winners, talk about them, and then maybe go over what 2024 looks like.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think not to put too abrupt of an ending on this, but it is about 1:30 in the morning right now.
Yeah, it needs an abrupt ending.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna call it there. But thank you guys so much for watching, and if you don't already know, you can find me over at the YouTube channel Gooba and Jetpack with the aforementioned Jetpack. We do a lot of Nancy Drew related content over there, and then every few months I might put out a more of a commentary style video.
Get your Gooba and Jetpack merch. Their shirts are comfy.
Yep. The official merch, you can find it on our YouTube channel and all that stuff.
But yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel. There's not much on there. If you like Horizon Forbidden West, you can nerd out with me and watch me play that.
It's a good time.
It is a good time. There's not much else on there. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year.
But maybe.
But okay, we're going to go bye, guys. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, wait.
Wait. Keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming.